Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery, IIMFL Smart Money Alliance. It's a beautiful Monday morning, November 9th, 2020. We get together most weekdays at this time, right about 8 o'clock Central or a minute or so before, with our distribution partners. And we have a number of different types of distribution partners. We have affiliates, we have financial literacy educators, joint venture partners, and then our incubator/branch managers. I want to give a quick overview and then drill into our topic today. So I'm navigating off of the IIMFL website. And so you've probably heard our mission statement a few times, but let's go through it and then talk about how all this ties together. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to narrowing the racial wealth gap by teaching financial literacy, improving credit scores, and facilitating the development of minority-owned small businesses, which certainly includes increasing access to capital. So everything that we do needs to be consistent with our mission. So let's talk about a few of the resources that fall under the 501c3 and just dig a little deeper. So recently we launched the incubator concept. We have one incubator open currently here in Texas. We have 20 or 21 small businesses that have enrolled so far. And then we're looking for those of you that are interested in collaborating and starting incubators in your communities. A number of you have raised your hands and said, yes, you'd like to do so. And we're in the early stages of starting, I guess 3 or 4 others. But certainly, if any of you are interested in collaborating and you would run the incubator in your area, we certainly can provide the infrastructure and the programming. So the Small Business Incubator is an important resource for early stage small businesses because it provides the foundation, the infrastructure needed to appear credible. That's what you and I do. We help small businesses and entrepreneurs become more credible because that's the key to accessing capital. Now, what credibility do you need? It depends upon the source of capital, right? Different sources of capital have different underwriting criteria, but certainly, if we want to try to raise capital under our EIN using business credit specifically, then we're going to have a commercial address, a business phone number, a website, and so forth. And that's what the incubator provides. So this is a resource that you can help small businesses with. You can steer them our way. We can get them set up in one of our existing incubators, and or we can collaborate and start an incubator together in your community. So that's one of the resources. Scrolling down here on the home page, the careers we won't spend time on. This is pure education here at the bottom of the page where it says 27 mistakes. If you've not watched this YouTube educational video, you should, because it does a really good job of helping people understand, to no surprise, the 27 mistakes that are often the barriers getting to the point of credibility. What keeps you from being credible? What keeps you from having the access to capital that you want? The credit boost is really what our topic today was supposed to be about. We launched this offering rather reluctantly, but we just saw so many small businesses come to us. And so while we can help them with the incubator or even outside the incubator to be able to have a number of credibility factors that's listed here, we can't ignore the impact to credit. Now there's 2 types of credit, isn't there? Business credit and personal credit. Business credit is something that we're going to assist them with, and I'll table that for a moment. We'll come back to that. But personal credit also can matter. Does all types of capital look for personal credit worthiness? No, but many of them do, and it just makes sense. Well, what we found when we evaluated the marketplace is the world doesn't need another credit repair company. There's lots of great credit repair resources out there. But what often is overlooked is the ability to jack up those scores, typically by 100 or more points, in 30 to 60 days. And that's why we launched the Credit Boost program. I had no idea that it would be so popular. And you'll see that there's embedded YouTube, and it describes the 3 steps here. And there's a flyer even. But just there's a lot of small business owners that have not been able to manage their personal credit as well as they would like. And so without any upfront cost, what we can do is help them gain, on average, 100 or more points within 30 to 60 days. Now, we know that each time that we offer a resource to small businesses, we need to make it worth your while, because as a distribution partner, your income, at least in our collaboration, is based upon being able to help small businesses and monetize that. Well, I didn't know that it would be the case, but the Credit Boost program not only is one of our most popular offerings, it's frankly the most profitable to you. Profitability based upon the amount of time that you have to put in and the return you receive. What you know that you'll be paid through the Credit Boost program is $5 for every point that we help the client increase their credit score. So the math is typically $5 times 100. That's $500. And again, no one's going to get excited over an extra $500 commission. But when you realize, well, what do you do to receive that $500? You just simply drop that prospect in on the inquiry form here at the bottom of the page, check the bottom box, make sure your name is listed in the referred by, and we take it from there. And so within that 30 to 60 day window, we should have their scores up, and then you're getting paid $500 for what? Submitting a name. Now, a few of you came back and said, what about a landing page? What could we do to make this even easier? And so we have landing pages, as many of you know, for our full capital raise program for small businesses, what we call access to capital. But we have not launched a landing page thus far for the Credit Boost program. So what I emailed out to all of you, I think it was Friday, it might have been Saturday, but I think it was Friday, was just asking, what is your interest in this? Because the Credit Boost program automatically becomes a resource for someone that's going through the capital raise, because if we do their soft credit pull in week 2, and if we see that their credit is not credible, then of course we're going to give them advice on that, whether it be business credit or personal credit. But some of you specifically said, hey, you'd like to run with this to a separate target market. And that's what we're really here to gather to discuss today. So the concept is, should we launch a standalone program based around the Credit Boost program, whereby you could have a landing page, you drive people into that landing page, you still make the same $500, but it is really meant to a separate target audience, not just embedded within the entrepreneurial access to capital program. It's relatively easy. You don't have any work to do. You don't have to really worry about any disgruntled clients, because they have no upfront cost. They only pay based upon the capital raise, and it's happening in pretty quick order. Several of you, like Robert just mentioned, have started to talk to key referral sources and said, man, there's a lot of volume out there of potential referrals. When you think about bankers, mortgage loan officers, realtors, because again, this can be applied to the individual credit marketplace, not just entrepreneurs. So auto dealerships, where they're trying to get people financed for a car, but their credit's not strong enough. So if we could add 100 points to their FICO score within around 30 to 60 days, that may very well move them into being eligible. Same with home buying. There's a lot of people that are locked out of the ability to own their own home rather than rent, because credit has been an issue. Again, for many of those, adding an extra 100 or so points in 30 to 60 days is what it would take. A big niche, and I know that you may dismiss this, and you're not going to hurt my feelings, But I'm telling you, manufactured homes, which is kind of a glitzy way of saying what we used to call mobile homes back in the day. So it's those homes that are factory built. Some are very high quality, and then you drive them out. They pull them out via truck and put them on your own lot. And so then you own your home. That marketplace is really, really ripe for credit boost, because a lot of times the people that are attracted to those more affordable homes often also have credit issues. And so, like Palm Harbor Homes is an example. You can Google Palm Harbor Homes. I believe it's either Palm Harbor or one of the other, maybe it's Clayton Homes, is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, right? Warren Buffett, and so he knows something about making money. And so there's the affordable housing, I guess, in summary, is a great target audience. So what we'll be rolling out is what we're going to call a credit literacy educator. And so if that's something you want to do, you would only do that if you're really focused on taking this offering out to the individual marketplace. If your target market is entrepreneurs, then this is somewhat embedded already, right? Because as we're going through the process, we do a soft credit pull, we see if they have a credit deficiency, and then we recommend this if warranted. So the key, though, is if you're going to be a credit literacy educator, there's two expectations. And so this isn't going to be for everyone. The first of which is we want to see some material volume. And if you're not generating at least 20 conversions a month, 5 a week on average, it's probably not a good fit. Now, the good news is that puts you right at $10,000 a month. $500 times 20 is 10,000. So it makes it somewhat meaningful to you, and it takes next to no time. We've seen some of you start to market this out to Facebook and online, as well as to individuals. We can still educate, and that's the second point. Our goal here isn't just to help someone improve their credit, and that's the tangible outcome and maybe what they most desire, but we need to educate them along the way. They need to understand how credit works. And so if we scroll up over on the career page, I think it was just Friday, we did a training on the Credit Boost program, and it's the third YouTube down. And so, for instance, we talked about how our credit score is calculated. And so we're going to have a really nice, concise credit literacy message, 30 minutes or less, that our credit literacy educators could teach in person or online. And that would be the opportunity to create the funnel. Now, again, the Credit Boost program does not have any upfront cost. And so what's going to happen is you'll have tremendous response, both from key influencers as well as from potential participants. The small business certification, I think some of you are overlooking. So I'm pivoting away. Sorry, should have paused. Beyond Credit Boost, I went over here to small business certification. I think some of you are overlooking the importance of helping small business owners build a loan package and build their knowledge, increase their financial literacy. This offering is $396, which is a great value, and you make half of that. They'll actually pay you up front the $396, and then you'll split half with us, and then we'll take care of the heavy lifting from there. We'll take them through that 4-week program. So you may find that people are entrepreneurs and they go through this, and then as we get to week 2 and we start looking at personal credit, maybe we also realize that they're a candidate for the Credit Boost. But rather than trying to converge these resources that we have to help fulfill our mission, I'd rather you look at them separately. So in your mind, you have to decide, who is it that I want to help? What problem is it that I want to solve? Is it that I want to help people that are credit challenged quickly, legally, effectively increase their credit scores with no upfront cost? Is it that I'm trying to help early stage small businesses build the foundation that they need so they can be successful and have more access to capital with the incubator? or back to where we were with a small business certification? Am I looking to help small businesses increase the knowledge and build their loan package out so they're able to access capital? So it's important, as there's several different arrows here in the quiver, that you're crystal clear, because what will happen is if you don't have a specific target audience, if you don't have a specific problem that you're trying to solve, my concern is that you'll become ineffective. And we don't want that, because now we're not helping anyone and you're not getting paid. So my point is, don't overlook the small business certification. It's a remarkable value. It's not free. It does have an upfront cost, $396. We split that 50-50 with you. We can develop relationships with churches and chambers and key influencers with our affinity proposal. There's a press release and flyer here, but this is really, really good. Really good. Remember, this was based off of what we taught for a full semester at the college, teaching entrepreneurial students, which was a specialization within the business major, how to get a business set up and going. So this is a big deal that you may want to consider. So if you want to enroll someone in the credit boost, what do? You come down here, fill out the information, click the bottom box, obviously put referred by you, and we'll take it from there. On the incubator, the same thing. If you're wanting to enroll someone in the incubator or submit them in, same inquiry form, and in here, and we're just going to click on a different box and make sure referred by you. So that's different, though, than the small business certification. The small business certification, you're going to collect the $396 from them, which is equivalent to $99 a week for the 4-week curriculum, which is clearly stated here. You keep half and you submit half into us. Now, you'll still need to let us know that you enrolled Joe Smith and that you're going to be submitting in half. So you would still use the inquiry form, but then you're going to put a message in here and let us know, I enrolled Brian Mitchell in small business certification on 11/9/2020 and collected $396. Will submit 50% via Zelle on 11/10/2020, something like that. So you're communicating to us, and of course you'd put in their name in that, but this would let us know that you've enrolled the client, that you've collected the payment from them. So we're not going to invoice them or ask them for any money. We know that you've done that. We'll onboard them. We'll post the payment that you submit to their account. So the small business certification is very needed. So keep that in mind. Kind of wrapping up here, we have the financial literacy, and as a member of the Money Smart Alliance, we have access to a large library of financial literacy topics broken into 3 categories: youth, adults, and small businesses. And so certainly this is education that you could go out and help teach if you wanted. Our contact us page is pretty clear, no surprises there. And the entrepreneurship program, it's important to understand the only difference of the entrepreneurship program from the small business certification is who teaches the clients. Like we have Dr. Austin. He loves teaching, and so he doesn't enroll anyone in the small business certification, but he'll probably enroll 10 to 20 people this week in the entrepreneurship program. Same concept, same 4-week curriculum. The difference is if you enroll someone in the EP program, you're teaching it, versus the SBC, the small business certification, we're teaching it for you, but same curriculum. We labeled them separately just so we could be perfectly clear on how we should be loading the clients. Are you going to teach them in person or online, or are we going to teach them? The pay is the same, the comp is the same. Okay, so that's what I wanted to accomplish today, was 2 things. Make sure that you understand that while we have different arrows in our quiver, we have different resources to help small businesses, and I guess now you'd even say individuals with the credit boost. just like any business, you have to have an identified target market. Who is it that you desire to help? How are you going to reach out to them? And then you need to have some projections. And we know that those of you that want to be credit literacy educators focusing on credit boost out to the individual marketplace, we need to be enrolling at least 20 a month, which is not insurmountable when you consider there's no upfront cost, combined with the fact of the heavy emphasis on education. I mentioned to some of you before, I've gone to apartment complexes and they love it. Where you go into apartment complexes, they'll promote it and you teach about credit. Because most people that are in apartments, that's transitional housing. And I'm using that word too loosely, but most people don't live in an apartment because they want to live in an apartment forever. They usually want to be a homeowner, but because of employment or other reasons, they're in an apartment right now, which is fine. So we found that some apartment complexes really like helping prepare their apartment residents for home ownership. And you'd say, well, that's crazy. That's people that are going to move out of the apartment. Well, yes, but those are the types of people they want to attract. People that are going to pay their rent on time, that are on an upward trajectory. And so by them offering education to their residents, that gives them another bullet of why people would want to lease an apartment from them versus someone else. So with that being said, let's see what questions that any of you have with the overview that we have conducted here. So again, Robert says extreme interest. He talked to his Chase banker. She likes it. And I can imagine so, because we're not competing with the banks, but we're helping improve the credibility of prospective borrowers. Brian says he loves the idea on the credit boost. Thank you. All right, let's get down to Clarissa's comment. So Clarissa asks, if a client has already repaired their credit and just need positive trade lines, can we just enroll them into the trade lines? And the answer is yes. You know, we're looking at their credit profiles. I had a client this morning, I'll leave her name out of it because she might be on the call, but she's like, oh no, I've taken care of the derogatories. I'm fine. I just need new positive credit. We do a soft credit pull and it's like red. It's like glowing red with derogatories. So all I can encourage you, Clarissa, is if you have someone that's interested in the credit boost, send them our way. We'll do a soft credit pull. They can actually authorize it right here, by the way, but we'll do a soft credit pull. We'll look at what's going on and give them guidance. I had a client yesterday, 735 credit score. You'd think that person doesn't need credit boost, 735 FICO, but you know, they had no primary trade lines. He had just one trade line at all reported on his credit report. And in fact, it was an authorized user. So he had no credit of his own. And so he did enroll this morning in Credit Boost because you need to have your own credit. I know that you can go get on your grandma's or grandpa's, your aunt or uncle's Discover card as an AU and see a boost on your credit report. But there's a great fallacy in thinking that's going to help increase your access to capital, because most lenders are going to peel off AUs and not give you credit for it. It's kind of like false hope. Dion has an interest in working with doctors. Yep, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I don't think the doctors are going to be a good fit for the incubator. They may very well benefit from the credit boost, but certainly helping them build their loan package. And there are some specific loan programs we have that are specifically targeted to licensed doctors, podiatrists, chiropractors, MDs, and DOs. So Dion, this would be a great way to go. Clarissa asked about the incubator. Does she take payment? No, the only program that you take payment for, Clarissa, is the small business certification. They're going to pay you the $396. You're going to keep half and you're going to submit half to us. And that's the entire payment for the program. They don't have any other costs for the program. Thank you, Clarissa, for asking that. Alyssa's asking about how to become a credit educator, and we're mapping that out right now. The credit boost is a recent offering. We didn't know that you all would have so much interest, and I guess it makes sense, right? I think we're to the point now, it's almost true that most Americans don't have the credit scores that they want. And while credit repair, removing derogatory is currently available in the marketplace, it's really attractive to just focus on the positive and add some positive trade lines, primary trade lines, and get the 100 points or more. So we will be letting everyone know that here very soon. And so if you become a credit literacy educator, the expectation is that you'll help us educate, help people understand how credit works. And we want to be enrolling at least 20 people per month. That's the goal, 20 people per month, which is not difficult to do at all when you have a no upfront cost program. Thank you, Alyssa. Peggy says, sounds great. Okay. So I think we've covered it. Thank you for your time. We will be back on tomorrow morning, same time, same place, and we'll go from there. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.